Anthony Edwards has been making waves off the court, and the attention isn't painting a flattering picture. His ex, Aisha Howard, has decided it's time to come forward and share her side of the story, and she's not holding anything back. From eye-opening text exchanges and courtroom battles to runaway rumors and fiery social media comebacks, Aisha's candid revelations have taken the internet by storm. But what exactly did Edwards say when he discovered her pregnancy? What's the truth behind the heated $1 million child support dispute? And how did everything spiral into this chaotic situation? Let's delve into Aisha Howard's bombshell claims. Stories of baby mamas calling out celebrities are nothing new. Whether it's future string of exes, constant exposes of NBA players, or even the controversy surrounding Drake, it's a recurring theme in the spotlight. This week, Aisha Howard is making headlines as the baby mama of the moment, due to the whirlwind of attention surrounding her tumultuous relationship with Anthony Edwards. The buzz intensified after Howard's recent claims about Edwards' private actions and statements. Legal records have shed light on Edwards' alleged initial response to learning about Howard's pregnancy. According to court filings, text messages attributed to Edwards reveal a shockingly nonchalant reaction, including one that reportedly read, "Okay, LOL, get the abortion, LOL." His repeated use of LOL, laugh out loud, during such a sensitive conversation has been interpreted by many as dismissiveness, both toward Howard and the gravity of the situation. When Howard made it clear that abortion was not an option for her, Edwards is said to have escalated his dismissive tone, responding with OMG by, punctuated by laughing emojis. This casual approach to such a weighty topic has sparked widespread criticism, with fans and commentators scrutinizing the basketball star's apparent lack of maturity. Additional texts reportedly contain Edwards' outright declaration of intent to avoid fatherhood, allegedly writing, "Because you're bringing a child into the world that's going to be without a father," and plainly stating, "I won't be in a child's life. I don't want LOL." If these statements are genuine, they serve as a stark indication of Edwards' clear refusal to accept the responsibilities of being a father. Howard shared that Edwards' behavior was consistent with the statements he made. Following their interactions, Edwards is said to have cut off all direct communication with Howard by blocking her on every platform. This abrupt disconnection occurred at a time when many expecting mothers rely heavily on support. Howard revealed that during her pregnancy, Edwards offered no emotional, financial, or other forms of assistance, nor did he ever ask about her health or the baby's progress. Despite these difficulties, Howard continued with the pregnancy and welcomed their daughter, Aubrey Summers Howard, on October 14, 2024. The birth of their child did not immediately mend the strained relationship between Howard and Edwards. However, it did trigger a series of legal actions that brought their personal disagreements to public attention. That same month, Edwards initiated a paternity lawsuit in Georgia, requesting DNA testing to confirm he was the father and to determine appropriate child support for Aubrey Summers. A genetic test conducted in December 2024 established Edwards as the child's father, shifting the focus of the legal battle to custody arrangements and financial support. In February 2025, Howard filed to have the case moved to California, opposing Edwards' Georgia-based filing. She argued that California was the appropriate jurisdiction, citing her established residence in the state and concerns for her safety. Edwards challenged this request, alleging that Howard had acted dishonestly in maintaining that Georgia was the rightful jurisdiction for the case proceedings. As these legal disputes continued to unfold, several public figures began offering their opinions on the matter. During the late-night talk show, former NFL player Chad Ocho Cinco Johnson shared his thoughts. "It's a tough situation because he's young," Johnson remarked. "From reports, it sounds like he didn't want the child, and now he's essentially being forced to embrace fatherhood. My advice would be this: take a step back, calm down. You're angry right now because you didn't want a relationship or attachments. You were just enjoying yourself. But sometimes, when you're careless, there are consequences to pay." Shannon Sharp, Johnson's co-host, chimed in with his perspective, speaking as someone who knows Edwards personally. "It's really an unfortunate situation," Sharp commented. "I know him well. He's a good friend of mine, and what he's going through is tough. At the end of the day, we all handle things differently. If I were in his position, standing in that kitchen, I can only imagine how I'd handle things. You all know me. I never really followed the conventional path." While some public statements shed light on Edwards' circumstances, they barely scratched the surface of a larger public debate surrounding this much-discussed paternity case. The topic even made its way to the Joe Budden podcast, where they addressed reports of Edwards openly expressing a desire to relinquish custody of his daughter. Allegedly, and I'm emphasizing the word cautiously, Say Cheese is reporting this story. According to their coverage, Anthony Edwards, whom I tend to trust as a credible source, supposedly filed legal documentation stating he does not wish to have custody or visitation rights for his 4-month-old daughter with Aisha Howard. That's a tough situation. Where does everyone stand on it? A different podcast host shared a more assertive perspective regarding Edwards' alleged wish to steer clear of taking on custody responsibilities. "Honestly, age doesn't matter to me. If you've made the decision to, well, let's be real, we all know how babies come into the picture, and you played a part in that, then you gotta own up to it. Walking away from that responsibility, in my view, is just a sign of immaturity and cowardice. That's how I see it. Of course, not everyone has to share my opinion, but I have a distinct stance when it comes to parenting. These public conversations tapped into a broader cultural dialogue about what being a responsible father truly entails, beyond simply providing financial support. At the same time, they highlighted the public's increasing fascination with Anthony Edwards' private life, underscoring how quickly personal family matters can escalate into online fodder when celebrity figures are involved. Let's set the record straight, though. Ayesha's disclosures regarding Edwards' behavior aren't the sole reason she's been making headlines this month. Adding fuel to the fire is a dramatic and widely circulated rumor that Edwards supposedly handed over an astounding $1 million in advance child support. Yes, that claim set the internet ablaze. $1.08 million in upfront child support. While the real situation between Ayesha Howard and Anthony Edwards is steeped in legal complexities and nuanced relationship dynamics, social media clung to a far more sensationalized version of events. The rumor suggested that Edwards had chosen to pay $1,080,000 in advance child support to avoid any future interaction with Howard or their daughter. This allegation first surfaced in late March 2025, thanks to a post by a user on X, formerly known as Twitter, with the handle of princessm____, claiming Edwards wanted to settle 18 years of child support in a single transaction. Things escalated significantly on April 1st, 2025, when another user, Achio Kajoki, shared the rumor in a post that racked up an astonishing 47 million views. The post boldly asserted that NBA player Anthony Edwards made headlines by allegedly shelling out a staggering $1,080,000 in child support front, settling 18 years worth of payments at once. This would break down to $5,000 per month, but instead of paying over time, he reportedly opted to handle it in a single lump sum. The implied message? Don't come asking for anything else for the next 18 years. The claim gained more traction when shared by the popular platform Daily Loud, whose massive audience propelled it to another 10 million views. Some accounts further fueled the speculation, claiming that Howard had declared bankruptcy following this supposed payout, tacking on even more drama to an already sensationalized narrative. Social media responses flooded in, ranging from disbelief at the hefty sum to admiration for what some perceived as a smart financial move by Edwards. On Reddit, users debated the logic behind the rumored deal, with one commentator asking an interesting question: how is that it? I know individuals who pay as much as $2 million annually, despite earning less than $90,000 per year, which doesn't even come close to the $42 million annual income Edwards reportedly makes. This raises questions about whether the rumored figure is proportionate to his substantial earnings. Meanwhile, some comments shifted focus to the emotional toll on the child, with one Reddit user sharing, "I feel for the baby. It's devastating to imagine a father not wanting to see his child," highlighting the human dimension beyond the financial aspect. To many, the speculation seemed believable given Edwards' publicly known financial circumstances. As a key player for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Edwards had recently secured a 5-year contract extension worth $244,623,120, with a base salary of $42,176,400 for the 2024-25 season. By 2025, his net worth was estimated at $40 million, making a payment of $1,080,000 appear relatively insignificant, a detail that added credibility in the eyes of casual observers. However, as the rumor gained traction, Howard herself publicly addressed the matter. Speaking exclusively to the Shade Room on April 2nd, 2025, she firmly denied the allegations regarding the supposed lump sum payment. In her statement, Howard made it clear, "There are no legal filings, agreements, or discussions of this nature, nor have I been offered or accepted any such terms." Howard's direct denial immediately cast doubt on the widespread viral rumors. Addressing the issue on her Instagram story, she confessed her confusion about the speculation, writing, "Where do these lies even come from?" Infusing her reaction with humor, she continued, "Have you ever heard a rumor about yourself and actually wanted to hear the rest? Like, no way. What's the next part?" Her remarks revealed her astonishment at the baseless tale that had seemingly gained traction online. After her rebuttal, respected outlets such as Sports Complex and People magazine stepped in to debunk the claims, publishing articles that identified the story as completely unsubstantiated, with no proof to support the notion of an advance payment being involved. This situation serves as a reminder of social media's ability to foster and spread misinformation, especially when it pertains to celebrities and salacious topics. The inclusion of a highly specific figure, $1,080,000 over 18 years, broken down to $5,000 a month, added a veneer of authenticity to the rumor, despite its entirely unfounded nature. Furthermore, the incident underscores how discussions surrounding celebrity paternity disputes often prioritize financial aspects, sidelining the emotional and developmental dimensions of parenting. The focus on dollar figures overshadowed the more pressing concerns about Edwards' alleged reluctance to take an active role in his daughter's life, as well as Howard's challenges of navigating single motherhood under constant public scrutiny. For Howard, the widespread rumors only compounded an already stressful situation. Juggling legal battles and her responsibilities as a mother, she also found herself fending off waves of misinformation about her financial ties to Edwards. Yet, surprising as it may seem, this isn't the first time Ayesha has found herself at the center of controversy. Yes, she has been in the spotlight before, again connected to a celebrity and again as the mother of their child. That earlier incident has only deepened the public's perception of her, amplifying the intensity of her current drama with Edwards on social media. To understand the full picture, it's important to consider Howard's complicated history with Lil Baby, Dominique Armani Jones. Aisha Howard's connection with Anthony Edwards plays out against the backdrop of her past high-profile relationship with rapper Lil Baby. This history sheds crucial light on the public's view of her today. Known to her over 628,000 Instagram followers as Lil Miss Golden, Howard was romantically involved with Lil Baby from 2010 to 2015. While together, the couple had a son named Jason, who was born in September 2015. Records indicate their time dating was well documented, with no major public disputes emerging during that period. After parting ways, Howard and Lil Baby developed a co-parenting arrangement for Jason. During a 2023 interview on Belinda Sanders' YouTube show, Howard described their co-parenting experience as seamless, highlighting their cooperative focus on raising Jason, now 9 years old. This suggests that, at least up until recently, their shared parenting responsibilities have been drama-free. However, Howard's previous relationship with Lil Baby has become intertwined with conversations about her current situation involving Edwards. Media outlets often draw connections between Lil Baby and Howard when covering her legal issues with Edwards, fostering a public narrative linking these unrelated relationships. This overlap has contributed to claims that Howard deliberately seeks out wealthy men for financial benefit, with her relationships with a prominent rapper and an NBA player fueling such speculation. Despite there being no concrete evidence to back these accusations, some continue to question her intentions. Howard has boldly addressed these allegations through a powerful statement shared on her social media platforms. "I've come to accept that there are simply some accusations I'll never be able to dispel for you all. I entered this world with a certain reputation because I share a child with a highly accomplished artist, right? From that point on, people began to perceive me through a specific lens, a woman who is attractive and has a great physique. And typically, women with those traits tend to draw the attention of a particular group of men, which, honestly, isn't something I can control." As soon as she became a mother to the child of a successful artist, Howard explains, she found herself confined by stereotypes, judged not for her personality or character, but for her physical appearance and the company she kept. Society, as she puts it, decided who she was without leaving space for complexity or deeper understanding. Then came the point everyone was waiting for. She tackled the gold digger narrative directly. "Now that I'm in yet another situation where I've had a child with another successful man, it's impossible for me to convince you all otherwise. There's no way to fight back against those kind of claims. What really gets under my skin is when I come across comments accusing me of being a gold digger or suggesting I had a baby just to secure financial support." But instead of justifying herself, she turned the tables with a sharp and cutting response. "Imagine if I went to your profiles," she said, "and started judging the fathers of your children in comparison to mine. What if I remarked, 'Oh, so you chose him because you were digging for poverty, right? Was having that child your way of getting a bigger tax refund? Or maybe you kept the baby to snag a few extra $100 in food stamps. Perhaps you decided to keep that baby so you could qualify for an additional Section 8 housing voucher. Is that the real reason you made that decision?' If that statement felt unsettling, it mirrors how I feel every time someone asks, 'Do you even care about that child? Did you have that baby just for the money?' Howard's passionate reaction underscores the glaring double standards women often face in these situations. While men with children from multiple partners might attract some disapproval, women are frequently subjected to harsher scrutiny and more severe allegations about their intentions and integrity. Adding to the public backlash is the age gap between Howard, 38, and Edwards, 23, which has become a focal point for criticism. On social media, users have encouraged others to hold her accountable as they did with Drea, referencing model Drea Mitchell, who was called out in the past for dating younger men. This layer of criticism adds to the extensive public examination of Howard's life. Although rumors about conflicts between Howard and Lil Baby continue to circulate, evidence suggests their co-parenting arrangement has been relatively conflict-free, with no significant issues noted up to April 2025. Much of the drama surrounding Howard seems to stem from her ongoing legal disputes with Edwards and the wider conversations these disputes have sparked. Howard has also taken to Instagram to reveal that she feels targeted and harassed during this legal clash, though she has not clarified who is behind this alleged behavior. This passage underscores the significant emotional burden that individuals embroiled in high-profile legal battles and public criticism often endure. In tandem, Edwards' financial standing sheds light on the context surrounding the child support deliberations. With his lucrative 5-year contract extension worth $244,623,120 and a base salary of $42,176,400 for the 2024-25 season, Edwards undeniably has the resources to provide considerable financial care for his children. Reports indicate monthly payments of approximately $3,200 per child, a fraction of his overall monthly earnings. Additionally, Edwards' issues with Howard are only one piece of a broader picture, as he has faced several paternity disputes involving at least 3 confirmed children with different mothers. Heiress Ariel Carlisle, born in September 2023 to Deja Carlisle. Aubrey Summers Howard, born in October 2024 to Aisha Howard, and another child with Alexandria DeRoche. In one notable development, the jurisdictional conflict between Edwards and Howard was resolved, with rulings determining that California lacked jurisdiction, thereby transferring the case to Georgia, a legal victory for Edwards in this facet of their ongoing dispute. Despite these personal hurdles, Edwards has excelled professionally, achieving accolades such as 3 NBA All-Star selections and a gold medal with the U.S. Olympic team in 2024. This ability to balance career triumphs against personal struggles is a familiar pattern for high-profile athletes, who often compartmentalize these distinct areas of their lives. The actions of Edwards toward Howard should also be understood in light of his earlier controversies. Back in 2022, Edwards faced backlash after posting homophobic comments on Instagram, where he referred to a group of men as queer and included a racial slur. This incident resulted in the NBA penalizing him with a $40,000 fine, alongside a public apology from Edwards. In a statement shared on X, he acknowledged, "My words were immature, offensive, and disrespectful, and for that, I am deeply sorry. It's completely unacceptable for me or anyone else to use language in such a harmful way. There's no justification for it whatsoever. I was raised to know better." When viewed alongside his ongoing paternity challenges, this past controversy points to possible struggles with maturity that Edwards might still be navigating. At just 23 years old, Edwards is relatively young, and the rapid rise to wealth, recognition, and opportunities that accompany being an NBA player can make it difficult to fully comprehend the long-term impact of one's actions. The narrative surrounding Aisha Howard and Anthony Edwards goes beyond mere celebrity gossip, diving into deeper societal themes such as parental accountability, gender-based inequalities, the role of social media in shaping public opinion, and the difficulties of co-parenting under public scrutiny. Howard faces the daunting task of balancing parenthood, protecting her children, and carefully managing her image in the limelight. Her candid reflections on these struggles shed light on the deeply personal realities often masked by oversimplified media portrayals. Edwards, on the other hand, appears to be on an uncertain path as a father. Reports indicating his reluctance to seek custody hint at minimal involvement in his daughter's life, though perspectives and priorities can shift as time progresses. Many fathers who were initially absent later come to understand the value of forming connections with their children, though these reconciliations are rarely straightforward. For children who grow up without a consistent paternal figure, lingering feelings of neglect, rejection, or frustration can present significant emotional hurdles. The lasting psychological effects of a parent's absence frequently influence a child's self-worth, interpersonal relationships, and overall emotional health far into the future. For Aubrey Summers, discovering that her father originally wanted nothing to do with her life is difficult enough, but seeing that rejection unfold through legal documents and media headlines adds an entirely new layer of pain. The evidence is out there for the world to see. The story has gone viral, and her name is now linked to one of the most chaotic NBA controversies in recent history. So what's next? One thing's clear. This situation isn't fading from the spotlight anytime soon. People can't stop discussing it. Howard keeps revealing more, and Edwards? His silence speaks volumes. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, click one of the boxes on your screen to explore more content like this.